was definitely the worst time in our relationship. Do you remember the incident that happened at the house a couple years ago? He's finally gonna say, I love you. And instead he said...
While we watch a lot of questionable shows together, I think today's show may be up there towards the top. And can you guess what channel it's on? That's right, TLC, the Learning Channel, and I'm confident after today we're going to learn some new things for sure. They will not make our lives better in any way, but new information will be presented. And it will be on the test. That show is the miniseries My Husband's Not Gay, which I'm pretty sure there's only one episode of, so it really is a mini-series. While I have gotten a handful of comments suggesting this, I do want to give a shout out to Hunt Jones, who did a great video on this not too long ago, so go check him out too. Now, I don't want to explain too much of this show because very soon you will see that it really speaks for itself, but essentially we're going to be following 3 Mormon couples in, shocker, Salt Lake City, Utah, and well, they have a bit of a dilemma.
I'm attracted to my wife, for sure, and I'm definitely attracted to men too.
And by the end of this, maybe everything will make so much sense we'll be doofuses forever doubting TLC. Surprised TLC even has to tell us at this point that the people we'll be following are living different lives, as if this is an episode 37,000 of TLC Presents People Living Different Lives.
I'm attracted to my wife, for sure.
I love him saying this because the words coming out of his mouth you would normally think are reassuring, but for your husband to say, yeah, I'm attracted to my wife, you would think that would make her be like, oh, I definitely thought you already thought, I didn't think you'd have to say that. So there is a term for their situation that I think they made up entirely themselves at this point, but that is SSA, or same-sex attraction.
Not gay. SSA.
Yeah, don't get it twisted. What's wrong with you? Maybe this will better help you understand.
Who will I notice first? A beautiful man walking down the street or a beautiful woman walking down the street? I'll notice the beautiful man 9 times out of 10.
If I see an attractive guy and an attractive woman walking down the street, who am I going to notice first? Is the woman my wife? Yeah, sure. Okay, then 9 times out of 10, the guy. Okay, what if it's not your wife? You can make that happen? Now you may be thinking, what does the wife think about all of this?
When Jeff told me about his same-sex attraction, it was definitely the worst time in our relationship. We got home to his place, and I thought, he's finally gonna say, I love you. And instead he said,
I love your brother.
I think you need to know that I'm attracted to men. And I was crushed.
Oh, wow. So how'd you guys get through it? What ended up being the solution? Oh, we haven't figured that out. We were hoping you would. That's why we're here.
So he sent me home with books, and I was devastated, and I sat and read, and for the next week, I was horrible to him.
I bet after that conversation, he was just like, how the fuck did that not work? I literally told her I love men. Why won't she let me end this? Now, after all of them explaining this, it's still pretty unclear if he's attracted to women enough that would normally make someone marry a woman, which, the bare minimum, I think. Because sometimes the way they talk about it makes it sound like he's bi, and then other times it sounds like he is through and through a gay man that just so happens to be married to a woman.
I know lots of other of my friends that are in these same type of marriages, that are in good relationships, and none of us feel oppressed. We've chosen to be here.
Yeah, I doubt just you guys have a monopoly on that sort of thing out there in fucking Utah.
My name is Brett.
My name is Megan.
It's not often I see a name that I have never seen before, but man, Pret has gotta be up there. I even did a name lookup on the website How Many of Me for Pret, and even they were like, dude, we've never heard of that, okay? The more they explain this stuff, the more I genuinely don't know why people sign up for these shows. Like most of the ones on TLC, I can't fathom why. It's gotta be either money, just wanting to be on TV really bad, or I think more commonly now is them being able to leverage the attention from these shows to build up their social medias, or if you're a Mormon in Utah, your product line at Target maybe. But I do know that a lot of these types of shows carefully curate how these guys are presented for TLC's narrative, but these guys are literally just telling us how it is with their lifestyle.
I feel like I'm the winner of life's lottery. Like, have you seen her?
I mean, come on, have you seen her? Seriously, what do you think of her? I honestly don't know. I'm not attracted to her whatsoever. I could really use a second opinion.
The first thing that went through my mind was kind of the first thing that goes through every woman's mind. Will he be attracted to me? At the same time, though, it was, well, at least he doesn't have anybody else to compare me to.
Hearing her explain this, it's so much more depressing. I feel like it's a little too mean to say that she's coping, but that seems to be this entire show.
What you making?
Brownies. My name is Tara.
And my name is Curtis.
We've been married for 20 years. And about 4 years ago, Curtis came to me one morning and told me that he had same-sex attraction.
Now, only 5 minutes into this episode, and TLC is already on their third couple living like this. They must not really have a shortage of SSA couples in the area for this show's test subjects. Guys, the holiday season is fast approaching, but while you're busy picking out gifts for everyone else, don't forget about number one. Remember to treat yourself too. And what better way to do that than with the Manscaped Performance Package 5.0 Ultra. The only body grooming kit that you need, of course including the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra with dual skin-safe blades, an LED light for better visibility, and it's waterproof so you can trim in the shower for easy cleanup. And while the lawnmower can handle your body hair trimming, you can't forget about those pesky nose and ear hairs, which is why this kit includes the Weed Whacker 2.0, which, I don't know if you guys have noticed, at least a third of my videos on this channel feature me with a very obvious nose hair sticking out. That is something I struggle with, so I've been getting plenty of use out of that. And for post-shave care, this kit also includes both the crop soother and crop preserver to help you stay comfortable and irritation-free. Lastly, don't forget to wrap everything up with the Boxers 2.0 and Shed 2.0 travel bag for when you're on the go. Also, did I mention that the lawnmower has a travel safe button, so you never have to worry about it turning on in your bag. So if you're ready to up your grooming game, get 20% off plus free international shipping plus 2 free gifts with my promo code ChrisJames or visit manscaped.com/ChrisJames. I do hope you guys check them out. I've been wanting to work with Manscaped for a long time. I love their products. Let me know if you do. Thank you to Manscaped for sponsoring, and now back to the video.
I didn't think he was gay at that point because he told me that he wasn't.
And that would be enough for me.
If someone can experience sexual attraction towards both women and men, in mainstream America, they're considered bisexual.
But you don't identify with that word.
I don't necessarily, and if you look at most of the studies that have been done about sexuality, they'll show you that sexuality is fluid, it changes.
And he's not wrong about that, but I still think this is all quite different. I think by now we could all see these are all very explicitly gay men who have grown up and are currently surrounded by a community that would not easily accept them for being that. So their only option to not hide away their true feelings and still have what is a traditional and acceptable life in these communities is to do exactly what they've done here. Maybe could have done without the TV show part, which is upsetting, and I very much feel for them because that is a shitty reality. But I just wanted to throw that out there because I do not think it's as complicated as we are being led to believe here. It's very much feeling like a, you don't understand, you know, you're the fool kind of thing.
Have I made mistakes in our marriage? I have. But with my belief in God, all things that I struggle with, if I turn to Him, can be for my good.
Have I made mistakes in my marriage? Yes, of course. This show being really up there.
Glad you're here.
How's it going?
In Salt Lake City, there is a pretty tight-knit SSA community.
Brett and Megan.
Yeah, we made it.
Come on in.
Hello.
Okay, them all being friends makes this make a whole lot more sense than what I had thought, which was TLC finding multiple random couples all with this same dilemma, as well as all using the same term SSA. Like, I know they had to be telling TLC, hey, we got a bunch more friends who do this if you need for the show, and they're like, no, this is already too much as is. So now one of the friends that they have coming over to visit is another Mormon man. This one does not deal with SSA.
When Curtis first told me about his SSA, the first thought I had was for his wife, how would it affect his relationship with Tara? Because, you know, a lot of families, they fall apart when they're faced with struggles like this. There's a lot of SSA in Argentina. Did I tell you that?
No.
Yeah, that's a big problem down there, too.
Now, as you can imagine, Rob is a bit perplexed by their situation, and I don't know if that's due to his opinions on gay people in general, or if it's just their wild marriage concept. Either way, he's gonna push back a little bit.
What do you mean by SSA being a problem?
Well, the whole act is against the teachings of the gospel. In the Mormon faith, we do not practice homosexuality.
So now it's time for some guy time, and the boys are gonna head over to the park and toss around the rock a bit.
My name's Tom. I'm 34 years old. I played basketball in high school. I've coached basketball since I was 17. These guys don't play basketball.
Yeah, Jeff wearing that bandana he most certainly just took out of the package for the first time in the car kind of gave that away.
If we're gonna go play a little basketball, you mind taking the do-rag off? It's not really a thing.
It's not?
I don't feel like I fit the mold of guys that are attracted to other men, other than my deep and abiding love for Broadway show tunes and the attraction to males. Those are the two things that are kind of gay about me.
You know what, I'm not even gonna bother with the joke, it's all right there.
Sometimes when our husbands are at the park playing basketball, we like to wander by and check them out along with any other eye candy that may be on the court.
Imagine being these other random guys and later seeing this on TV and you're just like, oh, I didn't know I was being objectified by half a dozen Mormons for a half an hour. That's cool.
Are you seeing anyone?
I see a lot of people, Tanya, everywhere I go.
I could already tell just by that, this man's exact sense of humor, and it's going to be a long episode. So the topic turns into them trying to find Tom, the single friend of the bunch, a girlfriend because he aspires to be an SSA husband. What a dream. Later on, the wives are going to go on a hike together alongside Tanya's sister-in-law and one of her friends. Her friend being the only one in the group who is not aware of her and their situation. Which, saying that, I know the term situationship is already taken, but I'd argue that their marriages are runners-up for the most deserving of the name situationship.
And if the topic comes up about SSA, it'll be interesting because I really haven't talked to her about Jeff.
I think it's safe to say it's gonna come up, mainly because this whole experience is being filmed by the camera crew. At first, the hike is basically just them going in circles saying how much they need girl time and how much the guys need their guy time. That's really about all these guys seem to talk about all the time.
I don't get enough girl time.
I get jealous of when Brett has all of his guy time.
That's really important for him to get his guy time.
One of the things that our husbands have learned the value of is to have guy time.
I don't get out very much, so I love some girl time.
Then finally, someone breaks the ice and pulls out the term SSA, to which Tanya's friend is very obviously asking, what the hell does that mean?
With the SSA, we're so different in so many ways.
What is SSA?
She then reacts how everyone not in this tight friend group or at home watching reacts.
So are they gay or not?
While her friend really doesn't seem to leave this conversation any more confident in what the hell they're all doing, she ultimately comes to the conclusion that, I guess all marriages have their problems, so whatever, I don't fucking care.
My husband always jokes and says he likes his women to be women and his men to be men. So,
That's what Jeff says too.
yeah.
But he's definitely more attracted to men.
This all is so reminiscent of those poly relationships that you see because this is very much one person's idea with the other, like, when he first told me it was hard. We had some talks, we argued, we fought, we screamed at each other, fought some more, screamed some more, and here we are, 10 years married, and I'm kind of okay with it. And we're on this show. A few of the couples then go out for lunch, and once the waiter shows up, you can tell TLC sent a team around town with a very specific job for scouting locations.
Hello. Welcome to Boulangerie.
Ooh, thank you.
Don't laugh, it's not that funny.
You know, not everybody's dangerous. And that's good. That's a relief.
So what do you mean by dangerous?
Oh, so I forgot to mention, earlier when they were at the basketball court, they brought up the danger scale. A scale that the guys came up with where they measure a guy on a scale from 0 to 4, an attractiveness rating that measures how dangerous that man is to their marriage. 0 being not at all, and 4 being I am leaving my wife tonight for this guy at the Stairmaster.
So if, you know, if I was drugged and forgot I was married to you, and I was in a back alley and, well, in some dark corner with romantic music, would anything happen? That's the danger scale.
And man, you can tell he has never once thought about how he would ever explain this to his wife. We are seeing him attempt a brain blast in real time. After lunch, the guys go clothes shopping to help Tom get ready for that blind date that they planned earlier. Sorry, blind group date, because what's better than a blind date than having a bunch of your friends there watching?
Here's a lovely green.
Some of the shirts the guys were picking out were not the best looking articles of clothing.
By the looks of these shirts, they are trying to turn him into Cam from Modern Family so bad.
Hey, you see that guy over there?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
He's a good-looking guy, for sure.
He's okay. I kind of like guys that are a little more athletic, fit. Like myself.
All right, someone please cut the power to this bit machine. Just answer a damn question seriously for once, please.
Yeah, I think he's a great looking guy, but then I like the swimmer's build.
I think the bulk of this show is just these guys thirsting over other unsuspecting guys, no matter where they may be.
So what kind of guy are you into?
Usually taller, like Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, there you
With
go.
you there.
Who isn't?
Okay, you know what? Maybe they aren't completely gay like I'd hypothesized, because I know for a fact the largest group of people that thirst for Ryan Reynolds is straight men. So now they go over and spark up a conversation with those guys across the shop, which a few of them actually recognize. And this is my favorite part of the whole episode, because these guys are gay. Not SSA men, they literally are just gay. And you will see in a minute how they respond to Tom's situation and his upcoming blind date.
You're attracted to men, but you're going on a date with a girl?
Yeah, so we don't really call it gay. We call it SSA, same-sex attracted, right?
I've actually never heard of SSA until today. Like, I know of people who struggle with homosexuality, but still want to be LDS.
Yeah, I've never heard of SSA until today. We usually just call that Utah gay. Just watch, these guys are having a serious conversation and some guy just comes up like, hey, do you have the bathroom key? I have to take a fucking shit.
I'm not afraid to be called gay. I just feel like it's not real accurate. I don't feel like the label totally describes me or who I am. And sometimes I feel like if someone says he's gay, it means that you're in relationships with men, and I'm not.
All right, Tom, so far you haven't been in a relationship with anyone. Okay, so let's get that under our belt first.
I mean, I did date a few men a bit before I got married. And yet, for me anyway, it felt like there was something missing.
Yeah, I've dated men before, but I always felt like something was missing. That being my parents paying for my apartment, because they said they wouldn't anymore if I didn't stop dating men. So now I have a wife.
If they like guys, they should date them, hook up with them. If you like guys, like guys. Well, good luck on your date.
Wow. Okay.
Damn, this is what I was talking about. These dudes are not having it with this shit. Like, all right, have fun on your date. So after that beautiful exchange that I can only imagine made Tom feel even better about his blind date,
Okay.
we're going to see an equally uncomfortable conversation with Jeff and Tanya back at home.
I think me and the guys are gonna go camping in a few weeks.
Camping?
What's that look?
Oh, so just you and your other, let's face it, gay friends out in the woods together alone? Okay. Fuck.
Do you remember the incident that happened at the house a couple years ago? I'm sure that there are women out there who think that I'm being completely naive.
I love the music changes in these clips here, like the sad piano music to the uplifting guitar here. Like, there is no rhyme or reason why they're swapping between the two.
There was one time a couple of guys slept over at my house, and let's just say things got a little out of control.
Now, what Tanya has failed to ask here is the most important question. Where do these other guys lie on the danger scale?
I know that temptations happen. That just is a part of life. Because I do trust you. I do. Doesn't mean I trust everybody.
So if you're wondering what comes of that, don't worry, we will never know that is the last we ever hear of this camping trip, ever. With that being the case, we move on to the grand finale, Tom's blind quadruple dinner date, and I wouldn't say he seems enthused.
There it is.
Very nice. You look fantastic.
Thank you. These aren't for any of you. I'm so sorry. My biggest concern going into this date right now is if I'm gonna have any attraction to this girl.
I have heard him say multiple times that he is not sure if he's going to be attracted to this woman, as well as that look on his face when he showed up with those grocery store flowers. Barcode still attached. Thankfully, Tanya wants to make sure that Tom's blind date, Emily, is completely comfortable here tonight and doesn't have any preconceived notions.
So we told her that the cameras were here to film a documentary about Mormons in Salt Lake City.
That's it. Nothing else. No other preconceived notions they want to clear up with her. Couldn't think of any if I tried.
I waited too long, so don't do what I did. I waited, what, a year and a half?
It really does seem like the move so far is to wait until you are an unbearingly long way into a relationship to tell your partner that you are not so attracted to them.
I waited too long, too. 16 years.
Holy shit. I knew they waited a long time, but 16 fucking years is insane. That's so messed up for his wife's sake. Then Emily shows up, and it's clear to me that the camera crew does not have a TLC logo in sight, because if they did, I would hope she would make a U-turn right out the door. Now, I'm gonna warn you guys, The conversation we're about to see at the dinner table here, rough watch. Rough even compared to what we've seen so far. Because Tom has made it clear to his friends that this dinner is not going to be the place to tell her his situation, which I think is fine. Mainly because why would you want to do that in a group setting like this?
Things are going well, so if we could just put off any SSA conversation for as long as humanly possible, that would be great.
So how do you guys all know each other?
Unbelievable.
Okay, for someone who's been rapid-firing quips this whole episode, you'd think he'd be a little quicker on his feet here.
Jeff does work.
Just say church or some shit. I don't know. Mormons all know each other already. How hard is this? But you'll see in a minute here, his friends absolutely do not respect those wishes about keeping this SSA thing on the hush-hush. In the most childish way possible, might I add.
I love dogs.
I love dogs too.
Did you grow up with dogs?
Kind of, yeah.
What kind?
A wiener dog.
That's a very appropriate one.
That's the kind of dog you should get, Tom.
I can imagine that Tom is having huge anxiety right now because the SSA is like the elephant in the room.
You can't be the one to bring up there being an elephant in the room as something that needs to be taken care of. You led the fucking thing in. So dinner was not too bad. Would have been a lot better had his friends not been little fucking 7th graders about it the whole time.
I'll walk you out.
It's great to see you again.
I like this girl, and I want to see her again. And so I feel like I want to be honest with her, and I'm nervous about how she might respond. I don't know how to tell you this. I deal with something called same-sex attraction. We call it SSA, but I'm attracted to men. I'm attracted to women, too.
Right.
I wouldn't be on a blind date with you if I wasn't.
So he does end up telling her, which honestly, this was the most ideal way. Sorry, the most ideal way would not to be pursue marrying a woman, but I think him doing it alone, as soon as possible, is better than 16 fucking years. But the way he says it makes it sound like he is attracted to both, I think. I don't know, they seem to be all over the place this entire episode.
Sorry to drop it on you like a bombshell there after a first date, but you're great, and I'd love to spend more time with you or go out again, and so...
Thank you.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
But she does take it surprisingly well, especially with the camera crew in her face, and is even open to the idea of a second date, just so long as she doesn't watch this episode when it airs. Also, God, this entire episode, they talk about SSA like it's some kind of disease. It's insane.
I don't think the SSA will ever go away totally. I think I'll always have some level of attraction to men.
Well, guys, that was My Husband's Not Gay. I hope you learned something. I did. If you did enjoy, as always, don't forget to leave a like down below, comment, subscribe if you're new here and you did enjoy. Don't forget to check out my merch in the store tab on the channel or at chrisjames.shop. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.